Well, greetings and hello there, everybody. It's me, your beloved Star Wars Dad, Nooch Too Good, and a holy gigantic news day in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. I was busy recording another whole video that now will be pushed off until, whatever, Thursday. It'll be there. I just saw this news come out. I guess it came out 2 hours ago. I was busy, you know, doing important things for you and this community along the way. Yeah, all my colors are reversed over there. I can't stand all the white, you guys, so I got this color inverter that I use here. So we've got Maz Kanata coming out. We've got Kicks coming out. Yeah, we'll take a look at their kits later. You know, we're gonna have Kicks out as the marquee a week from Tuesday, a week from today, and then we will have Maz Kanata will be the next conquest. You know, we know all this stuff. That's tremendous. I want to look at these game changes and new item. I just gave it a brief peruse, but let's look through this thing together. Game changes and new item. Let's get to the first major piece of information. Relics at 4 stars. Yes, you read that right. When does this come out? Doesn't say. We will be introducing. Okay. We've removed or drastically reduced star requirements on gear pieces, so characters can now reach relic levels at only 4 stars. The only requirement is that applying gear pieces at gear 12 needs a character to be level 85 and 4 stars. I gotta tell you, well, I was going to say it's not that exciting. However, I don't know. Is that exciting or not? Because you're going to be, when you do like a marquee, you can get them at 4 stars with a small investment. That's great. Or you farm, but other farms, like I've been saying for years, the shards are easy. The gear is hard. The gear is hard and the shards are easy. So the harder thing is now accessible with less work on the easy thing. I think I see the logic here. Let's talk about this here. I think I see. Okay, hold on. New relic star requirements. While you can get to relics earlier, there are now star requirements for higher relic levels. Relic 3 at 5 stars, relic 4 at 6 stars, relic 5 at 7 stars. This will be retroactive. I don't know. This seems like I don't want to say makeup on a pig because I don't think the current system is a pig. This seems like Fluff. I'm sorry. I know what they're doing. So the Capital Games is continuing, and I get it, continuing to try to push players to farm the new stuff rather than the old stuff, or to speed up the old farming while also farming. They want everybody to farm the new stuff and gear it up and everything. So this might motivate you. You know, if you get a character to 4 stars, it's a new character. It's a little harder to unlock. Now you can get it to relic levels earlier, or maybe it's more usable at relic levels. We'll have to see. I guess they'll be usable at relic levels. It's kind of fluffy. I don't see this being a giant add to the game. I just don't. Maybe you guys can get in there, but don't you need 5-star? Let me look at the raid here. Hold on. Okay, so the raid requirements for the Revenge of the Sith raid is 5 stars. So maybe you get a 5-star character. You get him to relic. What was it? Relic 3 or relic 5 over there. Let's pull it up and see. It was Relic 3 requires 5 stars. Relic 4 requires 6 stars. I don't know, guys. I don't. This may have. I just don't see that being a huge impact. Call me a party pooper. I don't think that's a huge impact. I think it is a little fluffy. while definitely encouraging you to relic new characters. I don't see that being all that exciting. Maybe I'm wrong. Okay, new item, Lightspeed tokens. Now this is going to be the really interesting part. Lightspeed tokens are a new consumable that instantly upgrades a character to a specific power level. Think of it like an item that will boost specific characters similar to the Hyperdrive and Lightspeed bundles. Okay, I get it. How they work? Lightspeed tokens come in 5 tiers. Tier 1, Carbonite, level 85, 3 stars, Gear 10, ability level 3. Kyber, level 85, 7 stars, Relic 5, ability level 7. Oh, combo! I get it. They did this to sell this. Now I get it. All right, let's keep reading. I get it. Now I get it. I'm a capitalist at heart. You guys know that. All right. What you need to know, don't hoard. A Lightspeed token is tied to a specific list of characters when it's released, and that list will never be updated to include units released later, so there's no reason to save them for a future character drop. Additionally, in order for us to eventually remove old and unused Lightspeed tokens from data, all Lightspeed tokens in your inventory expire exactly 6 months after the date and time you acquire. Well, how do we acquire them? Era unlocked. Initially, Lightspeed tokens can only be used for characters from the Legacy era. Everything before the era of apprentices that started on November 19th. So, the era of apprentices was for Ahsoka. So, the eras started November 19th. It started with Galactic Legend Ahsoka. So, anything before that, which is going to be, the last ones would be Peridia Pals and Balin Skull requirements, right? I think Balin Skull requirements. Yeah, they weren't in that. Were they? I don't know when they came out. All right. Generally, tokens are for units from eras that ended at least a year ago. Another catch-up mechanic for you. Launch factions. The first Lightspeed tokens available at launch will be for smugglers and separatists. Just in time for the raid. You cannot use standard Lightspeed tokens on these types of units, Galactic Legends, Conquest units, Journey Guide. I mean, won't they, based on what I see up here, they're going to tell you a specific list, so why do they need to tell me that these aren't included? I guess they're just being full disclosure, right? Yeah, it's not surprising. These tokens won't apply Zetas or Omicrons. Got a useless Lightspeed token. If you get a token, but all your eligible characters already past that level, you can dismantle it for rewards. 10 Mark 7 Kyrotech, 10 Mark 9 Kyrotech, Carbonite circuit boards. I like this. This is not a bad idea. Now, how do we get them? You'll find Lightspeed tokens in the store and as rewards on the free episode track and the episode pass. Oh, we also plan to use them as rewards in other ways in the future. So it's not really specifically pay to win, although I bet the ones on the episode pass track are better. To make Lightspeed tokens work more effectively, we tore down some old walls in the unit upgrade system. Here's a list of restrictions we've removed. Unit level is no longer gated by your... see, again. Oh, let me read the whole thing. Units now have all their abilities unlocked right from the start. Okay. Unit ability tiers are no longer gated by a unit's gear tier. Okay. Unit level no longer gates ability upgrades. The only exceptions are Zeta and Omicrons that keep the original requirements. Ship reinforcement abilities are no longer gated by star level. That's actually kind of nice. You get like a low level Plo Koon, and ship ability upgrades are no longer gated by the crew's gear tier. Not changing. Again, I just think this is fluffy. Now, what it will do is kind of remove like some clunky mechanics when you're upgrading your... That's what I see this more as. This is kind of removing some clunky fluff and replacing it with more streamlined fluff. I don't think any of this is going to be a huge benefit to you and your roster. You know, the gates of keeping an ability gated until you get to like level 55, level 57... whatever. Usually you're not gonna use that ability, whatever, till you get to that level anyway. And you might, and if you're worried about those levels, you probably are short on ability materials anyway. And player level, you get to level 85 in 2.5 weeks anyway, free to play, and immediately if you're buying a hyperdrive bundle. So, so far, I like the idea of the trade-ins. This is the thing I like the most so far, is trading it in for other stuff. This is okay. This is interesting to me. We'll see what it looks like in action and what kind of stuff we get at what tier. This is a little bit fluffy as well. Not changed. Okay, a few exceptions remain. There are 3 specific characters whose abilities do not unlock immediately. Gas Leader still needs Gear 7. Marin Special, but... I swear to God, I want to be a fly on the wall at these meetings. I'm just, I just. God, I want to be a fly on the wall at these meetings. That's fine. It's fine. Whatever. No big deal. Marin's was kind of a special situation anyway. Yeah, whatever. All right. The Night Sisters. I guess what this is preventing you from doing is getting like a level 1, because she heals and that way, or she revives. You can't just get like a level 1 zombie and just have her keep reviving over and over and over again the whole battle. Like, you have to invest in her a little bit, but it's not that big of an investment. But anyway, all right. In addition to that, for Lightspeed tokens work well with our current future systems. Many units have had their star lock requirements reduced to 2 stars. Fluff. I think, but wait, there's more. Okay, quality life. Whoa! Okay, let's talk about this first. Hold on. I keep saying fluff. That's a little more negative than I think there's a lot of streamlining going on here. I think that's a good thing to take a lot of this old... They're continuing to take the old stuff and streamline it. And since the new stuff is not for the tokens anyway, I was wrong about that part. But, you know, the farming of... If you have a new character at 4 stars, you could take it to Relic 3. That's not a bad thing at all. And maybe it drives you to farm the new stuff. So they're continuing to take a lot of the old mechanics in the farming of the game and updating it and streamlining it for current. That's good. I don't really see a lot of actual gaming benefit from a lot of this stuff. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe when we get the tokens, we'll find out otherwise, but maybe it'll help your free-to-play. Maybe my free-to-play account will benefit by bringing those tokens in. We'll see what tokens we get. That'll be interesting to see. But a lot of just kind of cleaning up old gaming systems that don't really apply to the game anymore, right? That's what we see a lot of here. All right, quality of life. Leveling up your units just got cheaper. The credit and ship material costs was slashed by 50%. Good thing I just leveled up my Poggle today. That's what we always say, right? Now that's a good thing. This is a positive. Yeah, that's a positive. That's actually kind of a really big positive. So again, a big step toward reducing that credit and ship material cost crunch early in the game. Again and again, pushing your roster forward more quickly. I like that. That's actually the one thing that I'm most excited about so far until I see the Lightspeed tokens. If you've earned all possible rewards from a recurring event, that event will no longer appear on the events table. Thank the maker. This includes all rerun marquee events, fleet mastery events, and proving grounds. Thank God. Let me pull up the game here. Let me get over to the game. It's not a huge deal, but I'm tired of these being on my thing the whole time. I've got Drogon, he stays there forever. You know, sometimes they bring around those events like Bad Batch for 60 days and you unlock them on day 1, and for 59 more days they're sitting there taunting you, just like, I'm annoying, like your little brother. I'm not touching you, I'm not touching you, I'm not touching you, I'm Grand Moff Tarkin, I'm not touching you, you may fire when ready, yell at Deb. All right, so there we go. That's a positive. I'm not gonna say super exciting again, but that's positive. You can finally say goodbye to the finalists are better. Yeah, thank God. After 5 or 6 years. You can now sim up to 100 battles at once. Oh. This doesn't change the daily attempt limits on hard nodes. Small improvement. Saves you a few clicks here and there when you've got a lot of energy. Now, A lot of us are superstitious and we feel like when you do more than 10 battles, you get less rewards. It's probably not true. We just remember, all right, that's a small improvement. Saves you some clicks. A new icon next to the unit's name on every unit details screen displays the icon for the era in which that unit was released. Tapping and clicking this icon will create a pop-up with the name of that era as well. That's kind of a nice, that's, you know. You can now sort your character inventory by relic amplifier level. Okay, we've added new that's actually can be really good as you advance in the game and you want to see what characters are 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. I like that. We've added new filters to see which characters have upgrades available for Lightspeed token, relic amplifier level, Omicron, Zeta. I like that. So when they've got an upgrade available, like you've got the token or you've got the Omicron or whatever, you filter out and see which characters you can't. I like that a lot, actually, now that I say it out loud. You know, previously you get an Omicron, so you get an Omicron, 20 pieces of it. You got to know which character that applies to, and you probably got 10 of them, 10 or 20 of them you can use it on. Which one do you apply it to? You got to go through your roster bit by bit. I like that. You can filter out which of my characters can use Omicrons. Don't apply it to Akbar, Princess Leia. Don't do it. Don't do it. All right. Any ability upgrade and unit level upgrade filters are now available for both characters and ships. We'll have to see on that. And that seems okay. A number of changes have been made to streamline tutorials for new players and let them get in the whole tables faster. This includes the creation of 2 new quests granted to all players under level 40. Probably another reason to play the game for a few days before you buy that hyperdrive bundle. So maybe they're going to knock this down to 2 weeks or less than 2 weeks. I honestly feel like you should just play the game to level 85 at this point and then buy the hyperdrive bundle, especially if you've never played before. I mean, get all the quests, get all the stuff, then buy the hyperdrive bundle. I think it's better for you as a player. So, you know what? I'd say this is... I would call this news... big fluffy news. This news is a furry. There's some nice. I really like this. This is actually the one I like the most. This is the one I like the most. We'll see what I'm really curious. I want to see the Lightspeed tokens a little more. Which ones are what? You know, when they're available. Like if they're dropping the episode pass. Where else are they gonna go? Era unlocked, launch factions, excluded units. It told me where in the store. What store? Probably for crystals. And as rewards, we'll see what's available on the track. It's not a bad thing. I don't think anything in here is bad. Let's say that. I don't think anything in here is bad. I like the idea of getting this extra stuff if I'm filled up. We'll have to kind of see how these tokens work. I like the idea of it. It could be really good for the game, but if they're giving everybody just free ones at that base level for level 85, 3 stars gear 10, that's kind of just okay exciting. But it really, it's that. Now, well, you back up a little bit. Even that or a 4-star gear 12, that could be really beneficial for a new account. Like if you get some assault battle characters in there too. So this could be really, really a lot of additions here for new accounts and new players and early game players. This is a really good update for all of you out there that just started the game a few months ago or in the last year. You're probably gonna get your hands on a lot more characters in the game, and I like the idea of the credits. So I'm gonna call it. This is a big upgrade, a really good upgrade for new and early characters, which is, of course, this audience, right? So there you go. Big updates, cool stuff. Thanks to Meathead. I'm sure that Meathead coded all of this. Thanks for coding everything, Meathead. You're a gentleman and a scholar. I do not care what Crumb says about you. Everybody, I hope you have a great day. I will talk to you very soon. And of course, always remember, Nooch too good.